Hello, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Third day this epic tournament. It's been fun until now, huh?
It's still fun.
It's definitely gonna continue like that, don't you think? So I thought about that before we start with the first game at 9. We'll do a quick recap of yesterday's battles, and we started off with ASSWELLS HAMSTERS against Team Dunkek, and where Dunkek went off. So it's, as you said, it's all a little bit a blur about all the battles.
Yeah, to me, it's just one big game all evening. Yeah. If you'd have asked me before I looked at the Chilango who won out of that, the ASSWELLS HAMSTERS and Team Dunkek, for some reason I thought ASSWELLS HAMSTERS won. Yeah. But God knows, how did he lose? I mean, it's ASSWELLS, man.
No, because the trick here with ASSWELLS was that then they lost that game, and then they played the last game, and they won the last game, which is in the loser bracket.
Ah,
that's why it's confusing.
I see. So that's why I'm having a brain fart. I see.
So the second one was Yoshi Minions against Arne Jesus, and that was an interesting match. That was where Yoshi's Minions were playing 2 against 3. So there were some technical issues.
But that was, I mean, they played a careful game there, trying to play cat and mouse a little bit. I mean,
at one point, it
the
didn't look
slowest game of the match.
It didn't look bad there for a moment. Also, they had something going on there, but of course, 2 versus 3.
Well, it was for a long time. It was 2v2, wasn't it, in the middle?
Yeah, because Mordrek had gone all the way down.
Yeah, he'd gone all the way down south.
If they only knew, if they only knew. So, and then we went on to the third one, was CBP against WHAX. Really nice game, intense. So when we had was some broadside Atagos, as far as I remember, that turned it, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had 2 Danes and a Brit, which we have renamed to 2 Danes and a Brit and a Dutch. Against Team Unsinkable.
Unable to sink the Unsinkable, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Unsinkables, they sunk them, and then the 2 Danes and a Brit went on to the next match, which was against Santa Pirates.
Yeah, Santa's Pirates. They played again. They had a double header.
And that one was really interesting. That was tight.
They managed to knock out one of the favourites.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Santa's Pirates. He got the exit in there. He was shown the door, wasn't he?
Prematurely. But the thing was, you saw there was those torps. It was the toggle torps that did it, and the same happened to them in the first game also. So they the torps changed the whole game for them, both in the first one and the second one. So,
yeah, pesky little torps. They're always getting in the way, aren't they? Those metal fishers.
And great play there by Kavinos in the Bismarck. The way he handled it like a DD, which he's quite familiar with. So I don't think it was a problem for him.
Yeah.
So then it went on to CBP against Scrublords, and that one was the one where actually Stuntman, and a big shout out to him for joining us yesterday. That was really great.
Yeah, definitely.
And
good to have him on.
He had really been looking forward to see that Akatsuki Benson showdown, and that was amazing.
Well, in the first game of the Akatsuki, it was
he
went 2-on-1.
Yeah.
But the next game we saw the Akatsuki.
It just Benson and Akatsuki. He was melted.
Yeah, totally.
I checked the replay.
Half health left.
Yeah, and so that's definitely something we need to look into. That's for sure, because your
Benson needs to go into retirement, Olsen.
Yeah, it seems like. Or Loyang. That's one of the few guys who have 19 points on the Loyang.
Bonkers. Until they bring out the Pan line or whatever it's called, and
Yeah.
like, hey, I've got 19-point captain.
So, and then we went on to Yoshi's Minions against Balls of the Seas, and that was a nice match. There was really a lot of mind games going on. What's it called?
Radio positioning nonsense. Yeah.
RPN. Yeah, so I think that was the thing that really changed it, because Gallagher played it completely right. He put up torps into those choke points without knowing. Of course, he probably had some idea if he was running the. I think RPN is a good name, radio positioning nonsense. That's a good name, and.
But that swung, eating that torpedo, swung it for Paradox's team, because Paradox then had to go passive. You know, he could not run into the other Benson then, in any circumstance whatsoever. If he did, he was dead. So it ruined the game for him.
And also the other point where Masaru had to push into B, and Gallagher had the smoke ready, and X-Men and Gallagher could sit in that smoke and just pound Masaru, and Masaru couldn't do anything. So and since Paradox was down on HP, it's also difficult for him to be in front, also maybe torping into that smoke, forcing them out. And so that one torp made a whole bunch of difference.
Such a huge amount of damage on a DD.
So, and then we went on to Team Stroev and ASSWELLS HAMSTERS again, and Team Stroev. So we had how did that play out? You're trying to remember.
I can just remember ASSWELLS winning, and I went and popped a bottle of champagne, celebrated. On tried, yes. So then the turning point there was Kutuzov taking those torps again in the smoke. That was because Yoshi had ASSWELLS there. He punished him badly for sticking his nose out. Yeah, I mean, Yoshi, they dropped the DD first, didn't they? They pushed in thinking that's it, right? We can push in, wrap this up, and those two torpedoes come in. And it just changed the game again.
Yeah.
Just the torpedoes are so unpredictable. You think you're safe, and then bam.
There they are. So and so quickly we will just check today's round. The 4 matches where we know who's going to be playing each other. The first one will be Team Dunkek and RNGesus. I'm looking forward for that one. See what kind of magic Rosan can do in his Benson again, if he gets those torps the right direction. And WSD Hacks and Unsinkable. That's also a very good balanced match. That will be a nice one. You have the first one in the loser bracket is 2 Danes and a Brit and a Dutch against CBP, and of course the fourth and last of that one is Balls of the Sea against ASSWELLS HAMSTERS. But then,
come on, the big hairy Balls of the Sea versus ASSWELLS HAMSTERS.
Yeah, maybe we can change. I can change that, man. if they win again ASSWELLS, I'm gonna change the name. And then, of course, the winner of battle 22 and 21 will move on to 25 and 26. Let me put it up here so everybody can have a look. So the way we're going to start today is it's not completely right on the battle numbers, but we felt it was easier to start from the top. Next game, W Hacks, then in round 3 loser bracket, and then this one. Sorry, you don't actually see my mouse. Okay, so it's game 23, 24, 22, and 23, and then we will play the round 4 of the loser bracket. So those are the two. The winner of round 3 loser bracket against the losers of round 3 winner bracket is gonna be playing there, and then we will know who will be, or we should know who is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Some interesting stuff. So that was.
Well, the room's up, Olsen. The guys are in here. I can see they're itching to get going. Have we got any more bits and bobs we need to cover? Or?
Yeah, I want to cover one thing in terms of some that we have learned, because over this there was some discussion yesterday, and we got feedbacks specifically on things like the stream delay, which I want to let me like this. We don't have music. So I wanted just to comment on this because we went through it and discussed it a little bit. And for me, since this is an internal community thing, stream sniping is not even a topic for me, because people in this community has integrity enough that is not an issue. That's why we don't really consider that even remotely as a problem. So if people wants to win that way, then they wouldn't be here. So I believe that everybody in this community don't do that. So that's why I don't really consider that as a problem. And that is my final private opinion on that issue. Now I've said it. Now I'm ready though.